Hey everybody, Joe Daniels from Swinging This Kettlebell and Strength today, hopefully to bring you a very informative video on ankle flexibility and mobility. Get a lot of people asking, hey, I messed up my ankles, what can I do to get back the range of motion, things like that. I've sprained, I've broken ankles. This is based on basically anything we do, anything that comes from the ankle joint is going to affect knee and hip. So with kettlebell sport, a lot of times what I see is when people are going to drive, for the jerk or something like that, what happens is they're letting the knees roll in a little bit. It's the same as a squat. If you're seeing people squat, their feet are collapsing, knees are coming in, stuff like that. Biggest thing is the feet caving in right here. We're going to try to address that. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to work on the tight musculature that can be causing some of that inversion and caving in of the ankle. So lateral gastrocnemius, one of my favorite things to use is the supernova, or you can use a lacrosse ball, tennis ball, something like that. Doesn't have to, if you have really nasty stuff, it doesn't have to be really hard, but this seems to work very well for me. So the first thing I'm going to work on is place this right under the lateral gastroc, and then gastroc is the upper part of your calf, the bumps up top. So I go to that, find some tender spots to sit and let it kind of melt. I also work on a little bit on the soleus, which is underneath that all the way up. But you can tell that those muscles are tight. They're taking your foot and kind of pulling this part this way. So like I said, this isn't the most, I want this for a more general exerciser's view to see what we're talking about. So loosen up that spot right through here. You can find some pretty bad spots if you sprained your ankle before. For the peroneals right out on the outside, what they can do is they can tighten up here and pull the foot that way, which in turn caves in the ankle. I like a foam roller for this because when you have a ball, unless you're really good at it, it's hard for you to get onto those areas. So I actually like these are the trigger point grids. A little softer and you can get in the grooves, but what we're going to do is I like to start down and then apply as much pressure as you need, but we're working on the lateral side of the lower leg, and right there it's got some good spots, nice and tender spots. So we're going to loosen those up, both sides preferably, but if you only have one side that's caving in, work on that side. So also you can get muscle, the TFL, the tensor fasciae lata, up here is a muscle that rotates your knee inward, your femur. So what I like to do is, if you're once again, if you're really good, you can use this right here. Sometimes people can do it really well against a wall, just looks super awkward, but that's cool. Anyway, I like using the grid again for this. So what I do is lay it right down here, and I'm gonna lay that upper. It's kind of right along the iliac crest, and I kind of roll side to side on that. It's a small muscle, and that's why I don't like using really hard balls or racquetballs, because man, it's a small muscle, and if you're a big guy like I am, or whatever, if you weigh a lot or something, that's a lot of pressure going in that muscle, and sometimes you don't need all that pressure to elicit a response to let the tissue release. So after that, what we want to do is, once we've loosened up some of the tissue that are causing everything to cave in, what we want to do is we're going to lengthen those muscles. There's certain muscles we don't lengthen. So we're going to start off on the gastroc and soleus. So here's a real good one with a band distraction over the ankle. We're going to stretch the back here. So get that to distract here. Now what we're going to do is, I like to hold like a 7-second contraction. So we're contracting the tissue, the calves, and then after that, and then we're going to stretch. So that band helps, from MobilityWod, helps with the impingement of the ankle. We're going to stretch that for 30 seconds or so. Get in the outside corners, and you can really feel that tissue loosening up right out through here. After that, what we're going to do is we're going to work on the short head of the bicep femoris, which is a hamstring muscle on the outside. What it does is it kind of brings your foot heel up and out, or like that, so it helps rotate, externally rotate the lower leg. So what we can do is use that same band, and we can distract the hip up top. So I put it up real high in the hip. Now what I can do is contract for 7 seconds or so, and then you're going to extend. And you really want to make sure that you're feeling it where you're targeting. You get some of that release in the lateral and the bicep femoris. Then what we're going to do is activate. So we're going to turn on muscles that were weakened before or not doing their job. And usually that is the posterior tibialis that helps lift the foot up and in, up and in. So because if we're caving in, we want to do the opposite. So there's a couple different ways you can do this. If you have cable column or something like that, it's really easy. All you have to do is attach a band here, pull up and in, pull the foot up and in. So maybe 10-15 repetitions of that. You know, increasing weight, get it stronger. Or you can attach a band like this and use it on your foot, and you can pull up and in. That'll work if you can get it. Usually I attach this to a chair or something, but I'm kind of showing you an example. You can feel it all the way through here. Bring that up and in. We want to do the medial hamstring now, and that's more the inside right here. So I've done, there's a couple of these guys. Pull up and in. Should be feeling it right here on the inside of the hamstrings. So like I said, I like to do that 10-15 times or so, just slowly increasing weight, so maybe a thicker band. If, like I said, if you have a cable column, it helps a lot. You can go up in increments, really fine tune it. Then also the medial gastroc, so the inside part of the upper calf. So I like to do that by pushing, by doing calf raises up and to the outside. So the opposite of roll, you're basically rolling outside to the toe, the smaller toes. So as you come up and out, you can do that single leg, you can do that, depends on how much. Trying to feel it right there, right on the inside. So you can tell if you're hitting it, if you're getting that guy to turn on that cut. And the medial gastroc. Then after that, basically what we can do is just reassess. We can do single leg. My favorite is doing the quarter squats and just kind of stay into the outside. And you're just trying to relearn, get that tissue to relearn, you know, connect it neurally to make sure it's doing right. So then when you go back and you're doing your squats, that everything's staying right, you're not caving in at the ankle, and you go to your kettlebell jerks or so, and you're not caving in and pushing off the ball of your feet. Now the thing is, what people don't realize, this isn't just for squats. It's for lunges, it's for, you know, heavy tire flips, it's for overhead carries, all that stuff. If your ankle's caving in on any of that, it's not good. Squat, you're static and you're stable. Excuse me. Everybody seems to have a cough lately here. But heavy sled pushes, things like that, when you're stepping in, you're stepping over, the last thing you want to do is have that foot. People will see this happen a lot. Sorry if you can't see that. But I'll see somebody pushing a heavy sled, and they might have their feet turned out, toes turned out, as they go to push. See what's happening? That's just a cave in of the ankle. We don't want that. It's not good. It's going to transfer some issue up into the medial knee, and basically, you know, through the foam rolling and restorative stuff we can use, stretching, activating the muscles that'll help. There's a good way you can start to get that better ankle control back, so that you have proper working joints. So there you go, hope that helped. And like I said, for kettlebell sport, for jerks, for heavy sled pushing, for tire flipping, for, you know, running, anything, it's all good. Take care.